Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. Today I am so excited because I am doing a fun collaboration with my dear friend Mandy Davis, MUA. She is back on YouTube and she is my fellow fragrance lover. So Mandy and I talk about perfume all the time, texting back and forth as to what combination of fragrances we are wearing today. And we thought it would be fun to do our top 8 fall fragrances. So I'm going to try very hard not to cheat. So if you were interested in learning about my top 8 fall fragrance recommendations, then let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I am so excited to share my top 8 perfumes with you. And Mandy and I are hoping that there's not any overlap. I think there's one that may overlap, but that just means it's really amazing. And of course, you got to check it out. So I'm actually going to start with a classic, and this one is actually more of a transitional fragrance. So I recently picked up the Chanel number 5, but this is in the Eau Premiere version. And I will admit I'm not a Chanel number 5 girl. I do think it's a classic. It just has a lot of memories that remind me of my mom and my grandmother. And it is not that I don't want to smell like them, but I do love the fact that this Chanel number 5 Eau Premiere is a modern take on the classic, and I'm finding this to be absolutely addictive, and it is a great layering fragrance, and it's also a great transitional fragrance as we are moving out of the summer months into the fall months. So this Eau Premiere is sophistication in a bottle. This is definitely a modern take on the classic number 5. I'm not someone who loves aldehydes. My nose is starting to appreciate them more and more. This, of course, does have the Chanel classic aldehydes in it, but this dries down a bit warmer and creamier on the skin. So again, the reason I think that it is a great transitional fragrance is that the aldehydes tend to be fantastic in the summer months where they can cut through the heat. And then the dry down of this is going to be just a bit warmer, a bit creamier on the skin than the traditional number 5. This opens up like a glass of sparkly champagne, and then it dries down into a warmer vanilla white musk. This is something that I've been enjoying spraying on directly after the shower. It's going to have a bit of that clean feel from the clean musk, but I love that it is just a teeny bit warmer. The champagne opening is going to lift, and you're going to get a bit of a warmer vanilla white musk feel. Still soft florals in here, just like the classic Chanel number 5, but I just have been loving this, and it is a great layering piece. So I just have to mention, this is a slight cheat, but the other day I was wearing the meringa. This is the Oswald exclusive, and this is from Profumum Roma. This is a white floral citrus vanilla. If you are someone who loves vanilla, this is definitely one to check out. And I ended up layering meringa with the Chanel number 5 Eau Premiere. And you guys, it just smelled amazing because the number 5 Eau Premiere put a little bit of a champagne touch on top of this beautiful white floral vanilla, and it amplified the vanilla, and it just was an amazing combination. And of course, this combination doesn't have to be used with this fragrance. If you have a favorite vanilla or a favorite soft floral vanilla fragrance in your collection, layering this on top is just going to add a little champagne kind of classy touch to any of your favorite fragrances. So I definitely recommend Chanel number 5 Eau Premiere as your perfect transitional fall fragrance. This is fantastic all year round and a great layering fragrance. Next, I have a soft gourmand, and this is going to be perfect for any of you that are just dipping your toes into the gourmand fragrances. And one of my favorite brands is Ex Nihilo. You guys have heard me talk about many from this brand. I really love so many of their perfumes. And this one is Honore Delights. And this is a true soft gourmand. This is a very chic fragrance. This is inspired by spending a day in Paris. This reminds me of walking into a French bakery. This also opens a bit sparkly. This time it's from bergamot. It also has neroli and orange blossom, so some soft florals here. This has got a touch of iris as well as ambrette, creamy sandalwood, cedar wood, and a bit of musk. Now it has a sort of creamy, comforting feel as if you were walking into a French bakery. It is not super sweet. I would call this a very soft gourmand, perfect for those of you that think that you do not like gourmands, but you do want a bit of a creamy, comforting kind of scent. This is a French patisserie in a bottle. It is not sickly sweet. It is very soft, comforting, and just a complete delight to wear. This is another one that is going to be great as a transitional fragrance. You can wear this year round, but I think it's going to really shine when the weather gets just a little bit more crisp. I think you're really going to enjoy the cozy nature of this fragrance, and it really is just a delight to wear. So number 2 is my chic Parisian soft gourmand. Next up, I've got a beautiful fruity floral gourmand, and this is Sweet Praline by Meissencier. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. So this is definitely going a step up, someone who definitely wants a gourmand fragrance. This one has a hit of raspberry. It's actually quite a fizzy raspberry opening here. To me, this has almost like a raspberry powderness to it. It's also got a touch of incense, so that it's going to balance out a bit of sweetness. It's got benzoin, so it has some warmth to it, but it definitely has this sort of raspberry powdered sugar element to it. So in that gourmand sweetness, it's got a little bit of cleanness from Abraxane as well as a bit of woodiness from papyrus. So it's got this beautiful raspberry powdered sugar opening, but it's definitely balanced out. It's not too sweet, it's not too gourmand. It's definitely something that you could wear every day. This is one that just puts a smile on my face. So this one is a perfect fruity floral gourmand for those of you that love more fruity floral gourmands. Sweet Praline is going to be your pick. Okay, next fragrance I recommend is one of my favorite from Ormonde Jane, and this is Ormonde Woman. Now, I just adore this scent. To me, this is a gorgeous, warm, woody scent. This has cardamom, coriander, and hemlock in it. I've never really smelled hemlock before, but I think it makes this fragrance special. This has a little layer of florals with jasmine and violets, but it's got a very woody base. It has got vetiver, cedar, it's got amber and sandalwood. So as you can imagine, this is going to have some warmth to it. So it's definitely a warm, woody scent. It's got a little bit of spice from that cardamom and coriander and that hemlock. This is just a unique fragrance. It definitely is going to lean into that woody, earthy genre, but there's something very addictive to it. This definitely has feelings as if I'm walking into a deep dark forest. There's some mysteriousness about this fragrance. There's also that kind of clean air feeling. Like when we first moved to Portland, Oregon, I couldn't get over how clean the air smelled. Like we definitely get a lot of rain here. Things are very lush and green, but the air here has a bit of dampness and cleanness to it that it just makes me feel a little more connected to the earth, if that makes sense. This one is very comforting to wear. It's very addictive, like one where I will get wafts of myself throughout the day and be like, this just smells so good. And definitely one I would recommend. This is signature scent worthy, but also it's going to shine as the weather is shifting to be a little bit cooler, especially if you live in an area that is damp like myself. I live where it rains a lot, and I found that Ormonde plus the rain really makes this fragrance shine. So a beautiful, unique, mysterious fragrance perfect for fall is Ormonde Woman. Okay, moving on. I have two from BDK. This is a bit of a cheat, but I believe that Mandy included Gris Charnel in her picks. And I completely agree that Gris Charnel is the perfect fall fragrance. This is a beautiful black tea fragrance. I find this to be cashmere in a bottle. It reminds me of having a cup of black tea and eating a figgy scone, if that makes sense. Just beautiful for fall, and I'm pretty sure Mandy's going to be describing this a bit more in her video, but I did want to mention this in my video because we both came up with this one as a perfect fall scent. But another one from BDK that I think is a fantastic fall scent, and it's one of their newer ones, is the Velvet Tonka. Now this is an addictive almondy tonka bean scent. This definitely gives you vibes of wearing soft velvet, just like it describes. You do need to like the note of almond, because this definitely has a little bit of bitter almond note in here. This dries down to the most powdery, rich, luxurious scent. I just love this one. I love the note of tonka. It's definitely something that's going to add this rich, deep element to fragrances. Sometimes it can add a bit of smokiness or maybe even a little touch of leathery feel to it. This one also has a little bit of a bakery feel to it. Has sort of a little bit of sweetness, like some iced sugar over a pastry, sort of like the icing that they put on those pumpkin scones at Starbucks during this time. Definitely has a little bit of sweetness there, but this dries down to a very powdery, almond, elegant scent. So really love Velvet Tonka. This is definitely your elegant sister. So two from BDK, Gris Charnel, black tea. Velvet Tonka, definitely need to love the note of almond. Almond powdery goodness over here. Okay, we're coming into a few heavy hitters now, and I'm going to start with xerjoff. This is La Capitale, and oh my goodness, this is an elegant beast of a fragrance. I wouldn't necessarily say this is beast mode. This one is super refined, super long lasting. This has got some sweetness from caramel. This has a strawberry note in here. It is almost as if they are dipping strawberries in caramel sauce instead of chocolate. So if you can imagine this incredible sweetness from caramel dip strawberries. Now I kind of want to try that, don't you? This also has a peach note in it, as well as some warmth. There's a little layer of leather. I would probably describe it more like a suede note versus like a true kind of leathery note. This also has some beautiful florals in it. It's got a lush rose, but it has some spices of saffron and ginger, as well as some warmth from amber, vanilla, and benzoin. This is definitely a wow fragrance. I definitely wear this when I'm wanting to have a little bit more of an impact. This is definitely an elegant lady. From the bottle itself to the perfume inside, I just absolutely love La Capitale. Next, we're going to bring in the note of coffee. So as the weather is changing, we're definitely going to be thinking about those warmer, cozier fragrances, and coffee comes to mind. And one of my favorite coffee fragrances is from Fragrance Dubois, and this is Minuit et Demi. And if you are a gourmand lover and you love the note of coffee, you're definitely going to want to check this one out. To me, this is as if I am walking in to a coffee shop and I'm going to be ordering a caramel mocha latte. This is going to have a dusting of cocoa powder on it. And it just has this rich, beautiful coffee note that I love. So this too has caramel in it. This has got cardamom. This is a warm gourmand fragrance. The two notes that stand out in this fragrance for me are the caramel and coffee. They just blend beautifully together. This has a bit of sweetness, but it's definitely tempered. This also has a little bit of pimento in it, so it's got a little kick of spice, but it's not overly spicy. So sometimes gourmands can go a little overkill in the spice category. This one is very balanced out. It's got cinnamon, it's got vanilla, definitely gourmand all the way. In the base, it's going to have a touch of sweet tobacco. It's also got some woody notes in there with vetiver and cedar, and then it's got cashmerean. So this is a warm and cozy walk into a coffee shop kind of scent that you're going to go in, order your caramel mocha latte. There's sort of a milky creaminess about this fragrance, and I just adore this. I'm a huge fan of Fragrance Dubois fragrances. I have several of them, and when they combined forces with Demi Rawling, who I also love, this was a no-brainer buy for me, and I've just been enjoying it thoroughly. And I'm excited for the weather to get a little bit cooler because this just pairs perfectly as we are bundling up in our sweaters and going out into the crisp air, walking into a coffee shop. Oh, it smells amazing. And last but not least, we are going to end with one of my special fragrances from Roja Parfums. So as many of you know, I'm a huge Roja fan, and this special perfume just makes my heart sing. This is Sweetie Aoud. This special fragrance is for the true gourmand lover. This one is going to take you on a journey. It is complex from the smoky opening down to the dry down. It just takes you on a complete ride. And I just love this about this fragrance because it's fun to wear. It morphs and evolves throughout the day. And this is just a masterpiece. So this truly is as if I am in Paris and I'm walking into the most elegant pastry shop ever. It definitely has the patisserie accord in here, but there's just so much more because I don't necessarily want to just smell like a pastry. There's a slightly smoky element when you first spray this out, and then it becomes this super creamy, buttery, rich fragrance. This has been described as croissants by some people. There is a touch of oud in here, and if you've ever tried any of Roja's ouds, they are very smooth. All of his fragrances have this smooth, elegant vibe to them. There's no rough edges. The thing that I love about Roja Parfums is that you can really smell the quality in the perfume. No rough edges. Everything is very smooth and elegant. And for someone who loves gourmand fragrances, this is like the ooh la la, the creme de la creme of gourmand. So this fragrance is very special to me. It is mouth-watering. It is elegant. It makes me feel fancy. So for any of you who want to experience a really special, this is definitely creme de la creme of gourmand fragrances, you are going to love Sweetie a Oud. This is unique. It takes you on a ride. It makes you feel fancy and special. This truly does transport me to the streets of Paris, where I am going to be walking into a very high-end, fancy patisserie, enjoying a really fancy pastry. Pastry can be art, so it's going to be one of those, like maybe maybe like a Queen Amon, something that's going to take some time and expertise to create. There's so many of those pastries that I don't even want to eat. I just like to look at them because they are pieces of art themselves. That is what this perfume is as well. This is definitely a masterpiece in my humble opinion, but this is one of my special perfumes and I just love it. So now I have to say this room smells freaking incredible from all these amazing perfumes. And as usual, I always love to hear what are your favorite fall fragrances. Go ahead, let me know below in the description box. And I wanted to say thank you to my dear friend Mandy. I cannot wait to watch your video. I'm laughing because she's texting me right now. She's at Neiman's smelling perfumes. So I can't wait to hear what she's going to pick up next. So you guys, thank you so much for watching and I will be back with another video soon.